Hi sweet friends, welcome back to my sewing room. Now I don't have my table cleared off. I'm still working on my winter quilt, pinwheels and snowmen. And I'm going to leave all of that laid out just as it is as I continue to work on it. And I'll show you a picture of that in just a moment. But I have my little cart. Can you see the cart? And my daughter got that for Christmas for me a few years ago. And this one don't have the handles to it right here. So my husband made this for me. I asked him to round up the edges and it fits right in there real snug. You almost have to push it up. So it's very snug, it's not going to slide off. And I was going to make some oven mitts, but I didn't get to them. And I have some of this that, what do you call this stuff? I'll put it up here on the screen as soon as I can think of it. But this is heat resistant batting that I was going to use for my pot holders. So I'm going to put this on the top. It's not real thick, and I think that it's going to just give it that little bit of a padded look that I would like for it to have. And picking out some fabric, I thought I had got this to put as a binding on my grandmother's quilt top, and I had some left over. And I'll show you that quilt in just a moment. I still don't have all my Christmas decorations down in here. But I think I'm going to use this. It's bright, pretty, very, what do you think? It's got some pinks, light pinks, dark pinks, teal, and white. And I thought that would look pretty bright for my sewing room. So let me go ahead and work on this and I'll show you how it's all going to look. But I will have my husband bring his staple gun and I'll staple them underneath. I don't think it's wide enough, guys. Just a little short. Try it this way. All right, let us pick something different. Man, this is just too short. I don't want to stitch it. And I know I have enough of this. Go cut it and I'll be right back. Okay, this is just going to be easier to move this in here so that my husband can do the staples for me. My hands don't allow me to grip that thing. But I decided on the ticking fabric, and then I'm going to put my Insel Bright batting down next. And take my ironing board and place this upside down. And then I'm just going to I want to do the edges first because I did have him trim off the sharp edges. And I'm going to do all four and pull those in, and then we'll start on the smaller sides. And as I pulled in the fabric, he would staple it, and I took just a very small hammer and made sure that the staples were in there really, really good. And this is how it's all turned out. I'm very happy with it, and I'm all ready to put it on my cart and use it right by my sewing machine where that I don't have to get up and down to use my ironing board.
Okay, right here.
Thank you, baby. Okay, guys, I can still store some things under here. And here it is, all stapled up. Fits on there perfectly. And let me show you what I got for my birthday. I got this for my birthday. A Dritz Mighty Steam Iron. Now, I don't know if I'll use the steam in it. Probably just a dry iron. But how much easier. It's got a long cord. And my husband put me a plug on the back side of my table so that all of these wires aren't just going to one plug on the floor. And I believe this will hook up and I will be able to sit here in my chair. And as I need to iron, I don't have to get up from my sewing table and press. I can just press as I go right here and continue to sew the blocks that I'm working on. So I'm so excited about this. I got a couple more things that I want to do for my sewing room, and we'll go over those in a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm still trying to work around my sewing table where I'm working on my pinwheel and snowman quilt, but I was able to change out some of the fall and Christmas items, and I want to tell you about this quilt hanging up behind me. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Now, we went garage selling last year. We do run a booth, and there was one yard sale that we went to, and it was in a barn, table set outside, gravel, and you really had to thumb through it. Well, she had totes crammed with all different stuff under the tables. And as I was looking, just passing by, browsing, I caught a little corner of this quilt. I started pulling things off of it. And I wanted to pull it out. And the more that I dug in there, and a lot of things were sort of mildew. I don't know how long they had been sitting out there in this garage or barn. And when my husband came by, he started to help me, and he thought I had lost my mind. I wanted to check out this quilt. It smelled so bad, so bad. I don't know whether it was a pet or just the, mildew smell. I didn't see any mold. It didn't have any mold on it. And I looked it over, and I'm like, I asked her what she wanted for it. Well, she was ready to get rid of everything. And she said $1. And I asked her if she had a trash bag, and she did. She had like a 13-gallon trash bag sitting in a box. And I put that quilt in there, in that bag, and I brought it home, and I washed it 3 times. 3 times. And there is a couple of little spots on it. It is hand stitched. It is a log cabin. And it just has the white, like cotton on the back. And it's all hand stitched. Now, I don't know if the quilt top itself was done on a machine, but all of the quilting in it, and I'll show you a close-up here in just a minute, but for $1. And you guys got to know that my youngest daughter, Allie, she loves to sleep with just a quilt on her, and it's got to have that right feel to it. And I thought, She would love this. She took one off to college with her. It's ragged out. I've already given her another one, and I thought, you know, one day she is so going to want this, but right now I want to enjoy it. So I put it up on my quilt display wall here for the winter because I thought the blue would look great, and especially while I'm working with the snowman. Now, I went to Hobby Lobby and I picked up these letters, S, E, W. And I thought about painting them the same color as this patina blue legs on my table that my husband made. But I'm not sure. I thought about putting some glue and some different color fabric and then just sanding the edges and putting it up where it looks like fabric. So I'm undecided. I was going to work on those today and put it up, but I think that I'm going to find me some fabric, and let me show you what I have. And I thought something like these. You guys know that my sewing room is more of the muted, little old-fashioned style. In my sewing room, my husband made my table, and all of my furniture is thrifted. Thinking more of these colors, and let me just show you. And then putting these fabrics, I think it goes this way. Putting these fabrics on here, and then just even if they're just frayed out a little, they have fabric instead of paint. And I think I'm going to try that. The worst that can happen is that it doesn't turn out. I paid $5 each for these, $15, and I may put it over on that wall or above my curtains, but I will work on these, and hopefully in my next room makeover, because there is a third one coming, I will share that with you. I don't know, I may go ahead and just get it done today. And over here on this display, it's the one that I talked about, my grandmother's Seven Sisters stars. And I hand quilted it, and I put the binding on myself. And let me take the camera over and I'll show it to you. Okay guys, this is the quilt. My grandmother made the quilt top. And let me show you the binding. That is that fabric that I used. I also wanted to show you this, that I put it on the corner, made by Sadie Tatum, Kathleen Fain, and me, Rebecca Rohr. And my grandmother pieced the top. My mother put the outer sashing on it, and then I quilted it by hand and put the binding on. So all three of us have worked on that quilt, and it's just precious to me. I just love it. I am going to get out my Dritz quilt stand, set it up in the living room, because I like just sitting there sometimes having a cup of coffee in the afternoon and doing a little more sewing. And this is what I recently had on there. It's all pinned up, and I've already worked some on it, but my sister appliqued, I think this was a bunny heel pattern, but she put her own colors and her own spin on it, and I have done some of it, you can see, and I've got some more to do on it, but I may work on that a little bit on my quilt stand for the winter time and just continue to work on this. And I'll show you how it all looks when I get that set up. Okay guys, I am setting up the Dritz Quilters floor frame. It's made out of PVC construction, and my husband has set this up for me, and he puts those bungee cords on for me because I usually move it around and adjust it as I'm sitting in my chair, and when I do that I sort of loosen it up and then it comes apart. So those bungee cords are there just because I can't leave it just sitting still. But I don't want to permanently glue it because I like taking it apart and storing it away in my closet or in a little area out in my garage. Now I'm putting my quilt on here, and this is the one that I've already started. And then I just put those on and twist them back as tight as I can and have my fabric all ready to go. It's still got a needle and thread in it from where I took it down last year, but I'm hoping to finish this one here in the next couple of weeks. So with it being winter time, I'll spend time maybe watching some TV and doing a little sewing. I do have these Ot Light, and all of these items, if it's something you're looking for, I will have it in my sewing section of my Amazon storefront. But be sure and check because I think Michael's might have this quilting frame on sale this week. So you might find a little better price, but I do link this all in my Amazon storefront if it's something that you're looking for. This light is wonderful for sewing and also for puzzle working. We use it for both of those. And so here it is. You can see it's all stretched out. I got a lightweight pair of scissors there. I am all set and ready. I'm thinking about putting some little acorns stitched in all over this. So now back to the sewing room. Larry is taking that down for me. I'm a shorty, and this was one of my appliques that I had done many years ago, and I'm putting it in that round tobacco basket. And I just love the farmhouse feel even in my sewing room. And he's helping me out here, and this is how my sewing room has turned out